Baruch Hu Kaimai. Yimlech and the Nachzin the Diva the Hallelujah. Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai. Amen. Baruch Hu Baruch Shemai.
Shmaidin Rami, Stay Shalom Rami, Shema Phantom and Marcus Hadin Rami, Say Shalom Rav, Yasay Shalom Rav, Tav in Rami.
Amen. 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 Yashikaya. Tonight, Jewish history, tonight's learning is an audio. On my father-in-law's birthday today. We wish him to have a very, very happy birthday and a good year, happy year, healthy year, successful year. And my father goes every day to help you put on tefillin. So he does every day. And so success means he gets a lot of year. And whoever wants to join us for bringing after davening, we're going to have to bring in fresh hot pizza coming right up. Okay, so we'll learn. So today, Jewish history tonight is so the Gemara tells us that there was in the times of Hanukkah, so there were Hellenists, and they instituted Hellenist law. Well, once the Hashmonaim came back in power, they overturned the Hellenist law, and on the 24th day of Menachem Av, it was 100 years before the Common Era started. They undid Hellenist law. They made it back to Halacha law, and they actually would celebrate it. So they would celebrate it as a Yom Tov. They would celebrate it as a special day that we have our Torah law instituted back inside, still back in Israel, and hopefully soon we'll have again Torah law instituted in Israel. Good deal. All right, thanks Jewish history. Huh? So during the month of Elul, we're supposed to check. Says Anshe Maisa, people of action-oriented people of Kishnah says should check their tefillin and mezuzah. That means even though Shulchan Aruch says in the laws of tefillin and mezuzah, it says we're supposed to check our tefillin and mezuzah twice in 7 years. That means approximately 3.5 years. Nevertheless, Anshe Maisa, people who want to do things extra right, not even a chassid. Chassid is beyond the letter of law. I'm not sure where Anshe Maisa goes in. Right? Because there's most of the chassidus, but they Pirkei Avos is not law, it's not halacha, it's just beyond the letter of law, right? Not the law doesn't require it, but Anshe Maisa I think is more connected to the law. It says here that people should try to check the Tefillin Mezuzahs every year during the month of Elul. And of course, not just with Tefillin Mezuzahs, it says all our mitzvahs we should really check and see what needs to be fixed during the month of Elul. It's a good time to check over all our mitzvahs and fix whatever needs to be fixed. From the Shabbos after Tisha B'Av, which was not this Shabbos, Shabbos before, it starts at 7 weeks, which are 7 full Shabbos and Nechmasot, 7 weeks of consolation. We have 7 special Haftarah. And it says if the first day of Rosh Chodesh falls on Shabbos, which is not the case this year. This year it's Sunday, Monday, right? Sunday, Monday, right? Not Tisha B'Av, right? So if that would be the case, then we push off the Haftarah of Haniya Sayra and we do instead in Shema and Kisi, because even though it's not Shiva the Nechmas, even though it's not part of the 7 weeks of special Haftarah of consolation, but still it discusses some type of Nakama and there's some type of consolation, and therefore that's the energy doesn't find it. And then he says, and you make up for the different from the Sunday before Rosh Hashanah and onward, we do Selichot. Friday and the constant to Selichot all the way from Rosh Chodesh Elul. From after Rosh Chodesh Elul, from the day after Rosh Chodesh Elul. The trade-off. Rather than get to eat rice on Pesach, we don't have to do Selichot all the way from the whole month. That's why we do Selichot because of the rice. Yeah. I think we have more things to do Selichot for. Don't worry. However, if Rosh Hashanah falls out on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, then we would start already the week before. We would start Slichat the week before. The first day of Slichat, we start off early in the morning, the earliest time possible, which is right after midnight. And then after that, we do it in the morning before davening. If a person goes to sleep and then wakes up after midnight in order for Slichot, then of course you have to wash your hands. Wash your hands like you would when we wake up in the morning. Wash your hands. The Chazan, which does Slichot, should wear a talit. Should wear it, in other words, only the Chazan, not everyone else. So both Slichot at night, past midnight, and Slichot during the whole week for Rosh Hashanah. So the Chazan wears a talis, but no one else wears a talis. Now should be worn already from Ashrei, even though Ashrei is ready before Slichot start. Nevertheless, we should start already Slichot from talis from Ashrei. Now, wearing a talis creates a problem. What's the problem? The problem is that when you put on a talis, when you put on your talis, you make a bracha when you put on a talis. However, when you're putting on a talis at night, you put it on already, then what happens in the morning? Could you make a bracha on the same talis? You already made a bracha. We never make a bracha on our. Let's say you make a bracha on tzitzis right in the morning. Right? You make a bracha twice on tzitzis during the day. You don't do that. We don't make a bracha twice on our talis. Huh? That's a problem. It's not something we do. Try to get a way around it. We try to avoid having. So what does it say? What should you do? So it's better to borrow someone else's talis, and therefore you're making a bracha on a different talus. The same thing for fly if you have to away.
But if you're doing it in the morning before the David,
The different talus, at least you're doing it on a different talus. Better, I'm just saying, it's a better way to do it. Better than far from someone else. Now, we have during the slichat, we have the Yud Gimel Midas Harachman, the 13 attributes of mercy. Hashem, Hashem, Terachmon, V'Chanon. So, what happens now? If you look, it says here we only do that when there's a minion. You're supposed to do slichat with a minion. What happens if we don't have a minion for slichat? Do you do Hashem, Hashem, Terachmon, V'Chanon, or do you not? It says that even though it says we don't do it with no minion, it says that you could do it with the tune of the Torah. With the tune of the Torah. So you're reading the pasuk. So you're not doing it as a tefillah, you're doing it as reading from the Torah. And then it's not a problem. It's best to stand for the whole slichot. Those that could. If not, then at least for the parts of the Hashem, Hashem, Kerach, Mechanum, those specific parts, at least we should stand for that. Now, if possible, you should try to pick someone to be chazan, to someone who's going to lead for the slichot. Same thing he says for someone who's going to lead the davening on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, it should be someone who's learns Torah and has good deeds. As best as possible, we can find. What do we do after we make? How are you going to do that? Huh? We need a shot over here. Huh? Then we settle for someone that doesn't. We settle for someone that doesn't, but we said we should try to get the best possible that we could. Also, it says it's better if possible they should be 30 years old, over 30. I mean, you could be chazan already from when you're 13. But better possible 30. That's because after 30, huh? All right, you got to put on your bucket list. Because after 30, it says we calm down. We're not so hot-headed. And also, if possible to be someone who's married. Also, if possible, to be someone who has children. Of course, none of these things are a must. It's all just better, if possible. So we do the best. Obviously, trying to do the best possible. The same thing says for the person who blows shofar on Rosh Hashanah, should also better be fit that category. The same thing, the one who either points to the person who's blowing shofar, or tells him, some communities they announce Kia, announcing which type of sound they should sound. That person should also, if possible, fit as much of that category as possible. Married, 30, children, learn Torah, does mitzvah. Also, Bal Midah Slight, someone who has a good character traits. However, Shulchan Aruch tells us, call yourself Ksherim, I'll call every single Jewish person kosher, all of it doesn't matter, as long as the majority of the people want it to be valid. So they say a story about someone who he was a very wealthy person who wanted to be valid. The problem was that and so he's going to pay them off because the problem was that he had a terrible voice, and nobody wanted him as Tazim. So I forget which tzaddik they went to. They didn't know what to do. So I forget which tzaddik they went to, and he told them, "Listen, you have three kinds of tefillahs. You have tefillah l'Moshe, you have tefillah l'David, you have tefillah l'Ani." So Moshe, he says, represents someone who's a Torah scholar. Ani, someone who's poor. And David is to represent someone who has a beautiful voice. Exactly told him. Basically, they told him that he's going to be. They told him he's going to be an Ani somehow. And he dropped the idea. He said, "I want to be an Ani. I want to be poor." It doesn't mean someone that's 2,000 has to be poor, but it means over here it's saying someone that's 2,000 has to be someone that's going to pour his heart out and really try to daven as much as possible. But the main thing is that the community should want him to be 1,000. The community doesn't want him, no good. Now, if there's a machlekes, if there is any dispute in the matter, again, stay away from disputes. If it's disputed, everybody should just. We don't want our davening to be in dispute. We want to come upstairs. We want our davening to go straight up, and Hashem should give us everything we want without any disputes. But we don't want any disputes. Now, someone who's an avel, it's preferable, someone who's in the 12 months after the passing of their parents, it's preferable that they're not the Shlech Tzibur. It's preferable they're not the Chazan on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. Just like they're not Chazan on Shabbos and Yom Tov, Shulchan says on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, also preferable that they shouldn't. However, if there's no one better fit for the job, then they could. Same thing applies, not just during 12, but it's a different relative. Within Shloshim, God forbid, someone who lost a spouse, someone who lost a sibling, God forbid a child, again, it's preferable they don't daven on Shabbos or Yom Tov, including Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. However, if there's no one else that's more fit and the community really wants him, then of course he could. However, if there is someone, a person should be honest with themselves, and if there is someone better, then they should do it. However, for silichot is not a problem. Even someone who's an adult could go up, even someone who's in the 12 months of in the morning of the parent, or within the shloshim of another relative, in 30 days of another relative, for silichot it's not a problem, it can go up. Unfortunately, in our community, I daven during Avelut. With both my parents, I daven before I was 30. I daven before I was married and kids also. Maybe that's why we're still stuck here. My daven can go up. Right. Now, what happens if a person, what happens if a person doesn't know the tune of how to read the Torah? Said before that during the Hashem Perachim L'Chanon, Hashem Perachim L'Chanon, during the Yud Gimel Midas Rachim, during the 15 attributes of mercy, we should do it with the tune that we read the Torah. Why the person doesn't know how to read the Torah? They know the tune. So then at least have in mind as if you're reading in the Torah. Have in mind. From here we learn for the rest of the year, if you're davening without a minyan, you do the same thing. In the Siddur it says, if you look at other places in Shulchan Aruch, it says that if you're davening without a minyan, you don't say, you skip that part of Hashem Perachim L'Chanon. But the truth is, you could apply the same thing, it says it over here, you could apply the same thing to any day. If you're not davening the minyan, you do it to the Torah. Someone who's an Avel, God forbid, someone who's doing Shiva. So, there are certain times, so during Shiva, it's preferable, you're supposed to daven at home. Not to go even to shul, you try not to go. However, there are certain times where you could go to shul. For example, it says, let's say, to hear the Megillah. To hear the Megillah, on Purim, someone who's within Avelah, someone who's within morning, he's allowed to go to hear the Megillah. Same thing when it comes to Erev Rosh Hashanah. About, of course, on Shabbos we go to shul, and Yom Tov we go to shul. But even Erev Rosh Hashanah for Selichot, there you could also go to shul because it's a lot of Selichot and it's considered almost like a Yom Tov day down. That's my. What's that my? Thousand calling once, thousand calling twice, 3 times. So, okay, why not? Why not, right? Your partner, honor your partner's birthday. Huh? Hey, why not, right? They're asking for the not your birthday. Special powers. Okay, we got it.
I just want the blessing.
Page 118. Hurach, Mechaparav, Mechashkas. Ayashi,
You gave him courage. Yeah, it's something. Right, right. Right, voice of the Adonai Yeshio, Hamelech Yaneinu, Yein Koreinu, Gada Vizgada Shemei Yom Gizrach Yusei, Yamlich Ma'apusei, Yasnach Lepoin 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 Chaye Kon Yenech, Chaye B'Terdei Shifter, Pablo Uzmakol Yimlu, Amen. Yesh Le'Rav Mabora, Yes, Ador, yes, Ame, yes, Alo, made a Purisham, Yea, Lord, in the horse of the horse and the Hamos, and dear on the Omo, the Himru, Amen. Lord, who is a Dana, Mario, maybe Lord, Mario, then you're in the Lord, Lord, Okay, Yem Chayenu, Yedek Yomenu, Avosoko,
Shema Yisrael, Shema Yisrael,
The Torah Shapir, Something that we shot them. And also, it was police social Adonai, Elohechem, Emes. Adam Yishmael. Well, I never want to miss a razor. So that you're in Jezus is mensen maar we hebben ook one of the ship, the word which may love, who say the Lord, my share, the day is swell upon a shield, the now who's a whole one Holy Mother, listen your life, no se se no hay Yom Chaye Chanem Yeme, Chanem Yeme, the whole basis of Bible, Islam, you stop out the extreme of the Yes, Ador, yes, already is Abo, I the Kurishka, yea, Lord, Tushkechos v'nechamos, Yamiram Yono, V'imro, Amen. Revelation. Skada, Skada, Shmeira,
Amen.
Yomoda, before he was ready on this Mapus, the arts not because
Amen.
the Chaye Khonavi may Khonab Chaye, the whole base Israel, Bagolo, Usman Kofi, Yimbuane,
Amen. Yeshmi, Abba,
Shmeira, his body of Israel, it's not say. He is Ador, he is Allah, he is Allah, later to
Amen.
Yea, Lord, Tushbechos, and Echamos, Niram, Yomo,
Amen.
Yabe, Osawais, the Bruce on the Holy Soul, when I put Ishmael,
Amen.
Yea, Shlomo, Rabbo, Mishomai, the Chaim, Tain, and Place,
Amen.
I say, show him in the rain, Lord. Who, yes, show him the rain, the alcohol is very
Amen.
Bless
Bless us, pray for us.
okay, no, go ahead. אנחנו קיימים, אנחנו קיימים, שינסו זה בגורים מלאים, יוכלו שעתו של שיורסוי, שיודעת היום לשבת אני גיבור ממנו, ונאמר, והויו אדוני, ומלך על כל העולם. והיום הוא יהיה, אדוני אחד, ושמיים אחד.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Come for bringing, whoever wants to stay for bringing, especially for bringing, in honor of my father-in-law. Now let's set up for bringing. I'm going down to 8:40. 8:40 in the morning. 8:40. Happy birthday. Let's set up right here. Let's set up. Yeah, just who wants to join us with Barbarian? We're going to start a new feed for the Barbarian. Coming right up.